Hey, welcome back to Vice Grip Lodge. I've got a ton of updates for you for the milk barn project. Power, water, walls removed, doors are out, ceilings are repaired and painted. There's so much going on. Let's get inside. Can't wait to show you guys. So we've been really busy here at the milk barn. My friend Kyle and various friends of his have been down here helping out. He's the nice gentleman that built a little bathroom in the shop. And we've hauled, I think, 3 or 4 huge roll-off dumpsters out of this place. And they've been hard at it. The transformation is incredible. Can't wait to show you guys. But let's start outside here with power. We've got electricity, kind of. So this here is what they call temp power. So we've got 3-phase, you can tell by counting. Electricity on here. Oh yeah, there we go. As I said, did I forget to pay the bill? But so now we can run appliances and heaters and things like that. And we've got an outlet outside here, expertly installed for anything outside. This is just extra wire overhead stuff. But this is permitted and everything like that was inspected. And this will stay here until we get the inside taken care of, which I've had an electrician come out and start poking through some of this stuff here and figure out what we're going to do on the inside of the building as far as that's concerned. Now water, we found the meter pit finally. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a bunch of bushes and trees and shrubs. I tore a bunch of that stuff out, old signs, and hauled a lot of that off. I wonder if this is frozen. Uh-oh. Oh, good, it's not. Uh-oh. It is, actually. That's not good. Get this hose off of here. Yep. Well, I'll show you anyway. Hopefully it's not broken inside. But we got an outdoor spigot. It's basically temp water too, just so we can clean. Coming up here soon, I want to get this building pressure washed and painted. And we're moving forward on windows really quickly. So nothing has changed in the back of the shop. Here's some more limbs that I've cut that I need to come back in and clean up. Starting to clean some of that stuff as well. Oh no, my gutters is bad. Who would have thunked? So let's start in the restroom. You guys remember there used to be a sink here, vanity stuff. All that's been tore out. I'll find the power here in a second. We've got a stool. Concrete's been busted out where that old shower was, and that's all for ADA stuff there. But the water is actually temped in the little office next door. I'll take you over there. Yeah, so this, you guys remember this stuff. Nothing has changed other than it's frozen. But the big change is up here. Look at that. Ceilings have been cleaned up. Painted nice and black. Multiple coats. I think they put 2 or 3 coats on. Apologize about the lighting. Doing what a guy can here. You'll get to see this better in the other room. I've got the big doors open. But this was covered in that plaster Paris, whatever it is. And there was some OSB randomly. That's all gone. All this has been painted. And it looks so much better. That beam's gonna get painted a different color here shortly. Looks really good. This room's done. This wall's been framed off. decided to go ahead and separate that. Not sure if we're putting in shelves or something in there yet, or just going to board it off. And then this wall has been framed off as well, which needs to be done for fire code. Got a nice big header in there. That's what it looks like from this side. So going to the front area, which I'm really excited about, you'll be able to see a lot better. Here's all the paint we went through. Moses sandals. These walls are going to get painted, the white ones, and probably out here as well. But look at this ceiling. That looks so good. We gambled, because remember, there's actually 2 layers of ceiling here and back there. We weren't sure if there was going to be another one because there was some rinky-dink stuff going on, kind of a homemade header above this homemade door. Well, it turns out underneath of that was just this beautiful rough sawn wood. You know, when wood was wood. And then the center part, instead of framing anything in, we're just going to leave that kind of a cathedral area. And they obviously had some sort of equipment that vented or did something up there, but it's all been repaired, boarded off. Any of the rotten pieces have been repaired and replaced. And here, and that's the way I'm going to leave it. Kind of that industrial look. We taped right above the, well, you can see plastic, above the porcelain brick, the veneer, and just did black above that because it'd be pretty impossible to tape around everything. And again, these beams are going to get painted a different color. Not really sure what. Maybe gray or that vanilla color. Haven't really decided. But it absolutely changed the look of the building. Miss my old blue truck. It's been over here for the guys to use. We should probably fire it up. It's been a while. Oh, they've smartly hidden the keys. Don't ask, don't tell. Okay, this room is the most dramatic change. So if you remember in here, we knew there was like really thick or modified walls. I called it the cooler room. There was really no other reason for it. There was insulation above the ceiling. We assumed in the walls. Everything was kind of insulated off, nooks and crannies, newspapers, stuff like that. And I tore a couple pieces back on the side, and lo and behold, there was beautiful brick way back in there, and the original wiring and conduit and stuff like that. So I decided to have the guys, and bless their hearts, they worked hard. They gutted everything out of this room. Not only is it bigger, but we found some really cool stuff in here, and it just looks really great with the brick. And of course, we tore down that old tin ceiling, and look at it now. Okay, so let's start over here because there's a lot to bring in. You can see on the wall, that line, that's where this wall used to come out here. And behind it was this awesome brick wall, and there had original conduit running down, the old switches. There was that big goofy door that was framed in. Well, you could see it was like here to here. That really kind of prohibited ingress egress right here. That's gone. We'll talk more about this here in a second. I'm going to leave this busted up wall kind of just like that. That switch was buried, I think. It was. Look at this old foam. It's like corkboard for insulation. This back wall was also, well, you can see where some of the old caulking was. But behind it, isn't that awesome? This is that cork stuff. It's not going to hurt anybody. We'll have to come in and get all the loose stuff off and clean it up, of course. And then this outside wall was really, really thick. There's the line there, where my boot is. And look what we found over here. So, I'm not sure. Some gentleman got a hold of me and said there was a delivery door on the building where old bottles would come in and new bottles would go out and the trucks would just park. I'm thinking that might have been here or another room over there. So this room is kind of the one I was thinking maybe, you know, there was a conveyor or something. You had dirty coming in, clean going out, or vice versa, and a man door, you know, for the guy to come in and be like, Mary, I need 12 or whatever. But I'm not really sure. I'm always interested in learning more about the buildings and what it was or how it worked. But we do have a potential here as well for bottles going in and out. So, you know, this could have also been coal chute, firewood. I mean, we don't know, but look at this hardware. I mean, that's 50s for sure. Old square-headed hardware. Had two massive hinges on this thing. We could look outside, but I'm sure there's a plug where they, you know, filled that back in or something. And then, of course, the ceiling in here, where was the line at? Well, right there. So about 1.5 feet, probably. That there was tin in here, and then big steel beams and poles. And then they had a bunch of shredded newspaper and stuff shoved up in there. But look how gorgeous and pristine the ceiling is. I'm kicking up a bunch of dust in here. Sorry about that. Apologize about the light. We're getting windows very soon, and we'll probably walk through here again with a ton of light coming through so you guys can see. I know it's a little frustrating. You're probably going, turn left, go back to where you were. But we'll be able to do that here very soon. So then as we're going back forward, if you remember, there was a rinky door here. And that is now gone. And we'll keep this probably just jagged, somewhat like that. Probably have to frame something in to hold this wall up though. Kind of cap it off maybe. All of the conduit, miscellaneous old ceiling tiles, stuff was ripped out of here. This is concerning. That would be coming from this pocket, which is the gutter. I'll have to look at that a little bit closer. But the black ceilings just really changed everything. Pretty much the whole building is now black ceilings. This, of course, is going to have a little bit of water. Oh, it's dry. Wow. Didn't expect that, considering I could see daylight here and there, but that was kind of just scabbed in, of course. Not completely done in here yet. And again, I want to leave kind of this rough, reminds me of an Italian restaurant, if I'm being honest. Kind of that broken up look. So all the ceilings are clean now, stripped. We needed to do that for a few different reasons. One of the bigger ones was the electrician. I wanted to get the ceilings painted and done and kind of how I wanted them before I had an electrician come in. Now we can also come in and hang what's called temp lighting. So it's like, think like Christmas lights, but bigger. So a big, huge strand of bulbs in it and stuff like that for construction purposes. Also, we may not need them here very soon coming up, and I'll get you guys an update. The windows are finally done. They're completed. They're built. Once this is open glass, there's going to be so much natural daylight in here, and windows in the other bigger room. This one won't have any. The small cooler room, I'll probably have to do some lighting in there. Obviously the front's going to have a ton of light, so we might be able to get by without paying for temp lighting at all and just go straight to glass. Speaking of glass, he just rolled in. Let's walk over and see what we got going on. This is that gutter box that comes through the roof. It's a roof drain, and then has a weird 90. Something in there must be leaking. It seems to be flowing fine and going right into my foundation. Great. But it's leaking right in there somewhere. I've got to take a look at that here pretty soon. Here's all the frames. Well, not all of them. These were all cut and made specific for the openings. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 right here. So as you guys know, and I've told you, I called around a bunch for glass companies and got some pretty astronomical quotes. Ended up going with a local company, Rambo Glass, right out of Lewisburg here. And Tim, the owner, super nice guy, and I'd rather work with someone local anyway. That's part of the community, and he remembers this building, obviously, and he was very kind and did really well on the numbers, and I trust him, so I can just say, have at it, you know what I mean? So Rambo Glass did an awesome job. They just said, we're not going to do cookie cutter. You make the openings, and we'll build them to that opening and be done with it. So see where he's going to start. So they're going to be starting on these 3 bigger windows here, and that'll get us, we were just talking, that'll get us a bunch of light in here and stuff like that. Then they'll come back here in a day or two and start working on doors and stuff like that. So they're outside right now getting ready to pull the wood off. I am going to get out of their hair. I don't want to get in their way, and let them do their thing, but we're going to come back and check on them here a little bit later. Well, the guy is headed back into town. We're in the cold vet. Try to drive these things as much as I can, kind of circulating through rigs that run and do the thing and got a good batch rate. And this is one of them. But I don't have any contacts to fellers on site. It's been a few hours though, so I'm assuming they got some frames up. Those 3 big windows they're doing in the main big area, I'm trying to remember, I believe I designed those as 3 separate panels. And the thought was, you know, lawnmower catches a rock, heaven forbid vandalism or something like that. It's not one giant sheet of glass that we've got to replace. It's 3 smaller panels. So it might be one of the 3 or 2 of the 3, not the whole thing. And it actually, even though there's more brake metal involved in framing, aluminum is significantly cheaper, obviously, than double pane glass. So I also saved a bunch of money by doing that, and it gets us closer to the original design, which was is a carriage house. I can't remember the terminology of the grid style glass, which was 50s, 60s, 70s. That's all there was 12 by 12 glass structures. Didn't want to do that. That's pretty excessive, but I'm excited. This is a huge moment for the building, is the glass and doors, and then we're dried in and we can really start doing some cool stuff with the building. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's swing into town, take a gander, hook our peepers on it, see what they got going on. Well, I'm just rolling in. Apparently, Krang and I did a better job framing in the windows than I thought, because there's glass all the way around the building. And this morning, I'm pretty sure the feller said, well, we're going to try to get 3 in. And then Rambo Glass has Ramboed it, apparently, because everything's in but the doors. Let's go check this out. We might be able to see inside of the building, which would be pretty nice. I think it's the first time since I bought it. Golly. Keep in mind, they still got to do brake metal. So there's going to be metal that, comes around this here, and they'll insulate it and put spray foam and stuff in between. But that looks great. Look at that. Boy, you tell you're getting old and you get excited about windows. Know what I mean? That looks fantastic. I've never seen this building with glass in it, and people haven't since the early 2000s. And I believe, and we got a glass in down here too. I'll be dipped. Yep, see 4 panels. It looks so good. So that's antique bronze, but notice how it looks black. Saved a bunch of money. This is where Tim helped me out. This is cheaper than black when you do the brake metal and framing. I actually saved a bunch of money by going this way. Those guys are super fast, really efficient. And now it looks like a dang old building. Man. We might actually have something here. What a difference that makes. And the fact that the framing matches the ceiling, which is hard to see, ties everything in. But look, we got light. Oh, that's great. Whoa, I'm just noticing this. I've never seen that before. They're kind of a slanty one rise of bricks there, I guess. How's that turned on? Oh wow, look at this. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't even need lights in here. There's so much natural light. Thank you guys for helping make this possible. Pretty neat. We're out saving classic cars, classic trucks, classic buildings. It's looking great. There should be a flood of light up here as well. Pretty slick. Pretty slick. So now all we got is doors. So this door here, I'll show you in the back. There's one laying on the ground, but basically there's going to be a window about yay-ish wide. A window about yay-ish wide, and then a elbow buster right in the middle. And that'll finish off. Obviously natural light is abundant in there. We'll have plenty in here. We're probably going to have some sort of light fixture with Edison bulbs, maybe some track lighting in there. We're trying to keep the electrical down, not only for initial costs, but just reoccurring costs. This is the room that's going to need the most light because we've decided to wall off that particular area. So there's no natural light in here. So we'll have some sort of, I'm not thinking bright white, more of like the Edison soft yellow. Maybe just a couple lights in here. It's definitely bright, but what a difference. Can't wait to see this with all the track, or the brake metal in, excuse me. It'll also come on the inside. I'm not sure if they're going to wrap it all the way around or just a quick there. But man, it's looking good. Now I kind of, I guess it's not too late. I could always have them help me, but kind of be nice to have maybe a window in here, not all the way walled off, because this is going to have some sort of lighting in this particular room, which I think is going to be Model A's, Model T's, because I could fit 2 or 3 in there. This will have to have a little bit of lighting, not a bunch. It's coming around. Big progress. Yeah, I know it's a little bit short, but I wanted to keep you guys in the here and now with the old milk barn. But hey, stick around. Coming up really quick. We've got the rest of the windows, the rest of the doors, and the brake metal. And we're going to start pressure washing and getting ready for exterior paint. You guys aren't going to want to miss that. Talk about a big transformation. It can't get bigger, literally, than that. Kyle and crew are on the way. Hopefully that's coming up here in about 2 weeks, give or take. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. We've come a long ways in a short period of time. And thanks to everyone that's pitched in and helped, from electrical to plumbing, to Kyle and his friends, to my brothers, Jessica, my wife. We couldn't pull this off without you. And of course, most importantly, you watching that are subscribed, liking, sharing, commenting. We couldn't do this without you. And we appreciate you so very much. We'll see you soon. This place is going to change yet again. Well, we're back at the milk barn once again for some more updates. You can see the boys are here. They got their beautiful rig there. They're all driving the blue shop truck. And of course, I've got the K10 that we pulled out of the pasture there in North Dakota. Tim from Bramble Glass is just leaving. He's the owner, operator. He's done a lot of glass himself. Just checking in on things. I want to update you a little bit more on the glass here. And I added a little bit more on the inside. I think it's going to save us a bunch of headache and time. And it's looking really good. And look, it's official. We've got a mailbox. Ha ha! Slick. This is a board reused out of the wall. And same with the board under here. Rip that puppy off. But this thing is looking really good. They just did what's called brake metal. which is like the trim, I guess, for windows. So all this has been installed. It's all caulked, matched in. It looks really, really good. These guys did a phenomenal job, and they were so fast at this. I got a notification they were coming to do this. By the time I got here, it was done. But Tim just explained, the owner of Rambo Glass, they put a bunch of caulking behind here, a hybrid silicone, and then this is 100% silicone around the edges, and then this is folded over the top up here, so when water comes down, it's not going to leak into the glass. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Barry's been out here all day pressure washing. You can see the building looks a lot cleaner. All of the brick has been pressure washed. Well, the whole building's been pressure washed because we're getting ready to paint this pretty soon. And the concrete was just cleaned, still drying. I didn't even realize it, but this was like a very dark brownish black from all the mold and everything on here, but they've got that cleaned up really good. There's the man himself painting beams.
Hi.
How you doing?
Getting free lessons.
Free lessons.
Good.
So we decided to do these beams gray, and I think that looks really good. They were going to stand out anyway, so we might as well paint them and make them pop. That looks great. How long you been painting for?
Professionally, about 25 years.
Wow.
But I learned to paint in the U.S. Coast Guard. We were on ships, and they taught me how to paint there. So your tax dollars taught me how to paint.
Okay. How often were you painting the ships?
Constantly.
Really?
Yeah, it was 310-foot cutter in the Gulf of Mexico, so rust was a big issue, you know, the salt water.
So you're always painting railings and hull and
Every time
floors?
you get down one end, you got to start over again. Wow. You learn to paint quickly.
That's awesome. He can also juggle like a madman. It's really fun to watch. Super talented guys. So in here we got these beams painted up. It's looking so good. I can't wait for you guys to come out and hang out. Check this thing out. We got a lot of action going on in this room. Sounds like we're getting the corkboard off. Gonna surprise them.
Hey everybody,
How's it going?
here we are.
What's your tool here?
Do it. Careful, hot.
Woo!
Isn't that something? Old bulldog.
Working pretty good.
Put a lot of trust in that bad boy.
Hey, at least it's coming off in bigger chunks for the most part.
Kind of storage. Plus that's that foam, that corkboard.
Yeah.
It's hard. He's there. There's all of that.
Oh yeah, I see. So they glued it on with the actual.
Yeah, something. Or
Oh.
I love when it was on wet mortar come. Some of it comes down, some of it's up there.
Lots of hard work. Look how beautiful that brick is.
A lot of hard work. It'll be worth it.
It looks so good. We were just
That's the look right there.
we were talking earlier about maybe clear coating this with some matte or satin or something just to seal it and keep all the mortar in this. Or I'm not quite sure what to do with it, but I want to preserve it, make sure it doesn't move or go anywhere.
Fella got good preserver out on the market. Some white splash a little on there and see what happens.
Yeah, but that's way better than the tin. Way back in the day, there was a wall. Well, it was actually about out here, wasn't it?
Huge.
Tin and poles hiding this beautiful wall.
That is a gorgeous wall.
And you're going to use some of that wood that we've already got and kind of frame this in?
We're going to resalvage, reclaim a bunch of that antique hard pine. It was those rafters and whatnot.
Yeah. So same wood up there. So and something else I put on the to-do list was putting in kind of a plexiglass window in here. Something, I just don't want a kid climbing up here and falling over backwards or something like that. So he's going to make a plexiglass window, maybe some shelves, and he's going to build that at home, I think, then bring it up and slide it in. And that'll kind of seal this off. And it'll be kind of neat because you're going to walk in and you'll be able to kind of glance in here and see, you know, a smorgasbord of what's going on. I don't know if it's Vanishing Paint and Independence or what it is in here. But we're
doing some live edge on both sides of this, but that's just me.
yeah, kind of frame it out a little bit. So that's going to look great. We talked about the brake work there. He's going to keep chopping all this cork off. And I got to start figuring out a plan for that wall. Not quite sure what I'm going to do on the materials there. We do have, back on this side, I think we're just going to put in a standard steel door over here instead of like a commercial door. I just want to have enough exits in here for egress in case of fire, God forbid, or something like that. So we might just put in a standard just steel door here and then wire it in for security contacts and all that stuff. These walls are going to get painted because they're already white. And been thinking about what I can fit in this room that would be neat but small. Kind of thinking 9N tractor, maybe-ish. Over here, got to do a little bit of work on the sill. They got this door to fit great. But under the sill plate, we got a gap under here. So I think I'm going to get some ready mix or quick mix or whatever you want to call it. Oh, we got concrete way back here. And kind of float this out a little bit and get some underneath there. And again, this will be a emergency exit only door. And hopefully someday, fingers crossed, this will all be asphalted. This could probably be oh, here's a good example. This will probably come up if we asphalted, but see how there's the original concrete here, and then they poured something over top to match the new sill. So basically the same thing. Gonna have to do that over here. Kind of match that in. Got all the cabling off, cable televisions and whatnot, all that's ripped off, all the old vines, all of that's gone. You could still see the scar marks from all the old vines. You guys are right. They look kind of neat, but they cause some damage. So we're ripping all that off. All this fencing and stuff's got to come down. I think I've decided to put in like an 8-foot chain link fence, but we've got some saplings and trees and shingles and tires and barrels and whatnots and more to move before we can do that. But we're getting there. Progress is being made. So that's going to do it for this update. We've got glass. We've got doors. It's pretty well sealed in. We've got water. We've got some form of electricity. Things are actually happening. Big thank you to Rambo Glass and all the fellers and fellettes over there. They did an awesome job. They were super quick, fair, friendly. And Kyle, Barry, the other folks, these guys are doing an awesome job. So stay tuned. We'll have another update here, hopefully a couple weeks. And we're drawing closer to the grand opening of the Milk Barn, the Vice Grip Garage World Headquarters. Quarters. Look at that.
I mean, you had to make sure debut. Hey, the world.
So I was talking with Tim, glass guy. He's going to help me out here because I don't really know what to do with this section, right? And he's going to come in with that brake metal, that trim we were just talking about on the outside, and he's going to finish all this off nice for me, and then he's going to put like a cap all the way around 2-3 inches down, kind of around this brick. And that's going to make that look a lot better and finish this off. And then I don't have to come in here and try to figure out what to do with wood or anything like that. But it is looking really good. Lots of natural light. These guys have switched modes already. They're cleaning the inside. These guys are hustling. Beams are painted. Looking beautiful. Nice. Same on these windows. We got this metal and stuff in here. If you remember, Krang and I put this wood. We glued and silicone that in and self-tapped it into the block. And then these guys siliconed it on the outside and put brake metal on and glued that on. I'll go outside and show you in a second. But we have this weird gap in here. We could frame this in with wood, but I think it's just going to be so much faster and easier to have them come in with that brake metal on this too. And he's giving me a really good deal. So this will just be boop, boop, all the way around these windows, and that'll be done. Porcelain's looking great. Using some sort of cleaner, bleach or something. Smells good.
No. So max.
Man. We're thinking of putting some sort of lighting up in here. Kind of a redneck chandelier or something. Not really sure. Some parts, stuff. Boy, that looks good. But yeah, they got that nice metal and all screwed in and siliconed up. This is a drain. If moisture gets in there, it drains back out, and we'll paint this just like that. It's too bad about all these little windows or doors or whatever these were on the outside. It's kind of an eyesore. We'll have to figure out something to do there eventually, but for now, yeah, we're just gonna fog her down with some paint and deal with that at a later date. You know what I mean? Okay, sounds like a plan. Well, a guy just got back from northern Kentucky, swinging back in once again, see the progress. And Kyle, Barry, and Thomas are just going at it. We got lots of progress to show you, and I'm going to ask for y'all's help. There's something specific we're looking for. Kyle and I have been talking about. Let's start with doors. We got to talk about some paint, and then we got big progress in the bullpen in the back here. So this little side room here, they've got a exit door. Nice. Little El Cheapo, but it's doing the deal. They're gonna get it sealed up today. Yeah. Get that sealed in and everything. I'll probably come in and out of that door and park in that alley so I don't plug up the parking outside. I think I'm gonna use this as a farm equipment room, tractor, some other stuff like that. I think we talked about that quite a bit. Some of the biggest progress is on the front opening. This has been just a nightmare and such a huge eyesore inside and outside. You can see where they've just continued to cut into the block and put these beams in year after year after year, and it's a head scratcher. And the top is holding the brick up, and then the original metal plate is up in there hidden. And then we have these kind of barn doors, which are going to be going away here pretty soon. I have officially shook hands with the local door contractor, and he's going to put some overheads in for us. And we're just going to go cheap, black, no glass in the back, and a little bit of glass up front, I think. But look how much better it looks out front. They've got all the tin down off of it. This is all that big green tin that was hanging up front. Let me show you what it looks like now. So the end goal is going to be using a brick veneer. Just rolled the ankle. Ouch. So we need a nice smooth surface to adhere that to, and we've got that done. So that ugly big tin is down. This is the sheeting that we used on all the windows and doors, sealing it up, Krang and I, and basically just recycled that, put it into place, and then I'll have a friend of mine come over, and then it's about a 1 inch with the mortar bed and the product itself, put brick around this, and then by the time we paint the building, which we'll talk about next, it's going to somewhat actually match instead of just being this huge sore thumb hanging out. So paint, talked about doing gray. We've got some test color down here. Got the Corvette out. Good run a little car. Oh, the awning's down. This used to go up here. That's off. This old pole is going to come out, and we'll put in a good pole once we figure out parking lot here. But here is our color. This is going to be the color of the building right here. This is what the beams are on the inside. It's a little lighter, but Worcester, I think it's called, something like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think it'll modernize the building, definitely clean it up. The gates are down. Those used to hang here and come across. And now you can see how much room we actually have. The parking lot is going to go all the way to the end of this corner. We're going to wait to tear this old thing off for now. So this will all be parking all the way down there. I think it's 140 feet, maybe-ish, something like that. And then the guys have started cutting in, getting all of the twigs and sticks and stuff. We'll walk over there in a minute. Blind National's going home with Kyle just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. I'm letting him borrow on this. These things need to be driven. They do no good sitting around, so he's going to take it home and play with it for a while. They moved to Stewed and whatever that yellow car is, and they're going to keep hacking all these bushes and shrubbery and stuff out of this old fence, because we're going to have to get a new fence going. But it's really cleaned up. Remember how this was a jungle in here? I had a Corvair hidden in here. You couldn't even see it. So that seems to be working pretty good. And the guys are up here by the number one working on getting the overhead doors framed in. This old slider, that's an exterior slider. This is an interior slider. Those are coming down, and we're just going to put on a base, cheapy little 9-foot roll up. And between the two doors, we hope we can get some wheels in there. Probably have to use quick jacks, maneuver them around, but I don't know what to do about this drain spout.
That's a nice drain spout. We're not gonna leave that.
It's custom with a K.
Very custom.
Yeah. And we got things still like interior outlets outside. And,
Yeah, who needs GFC app?
yeah. Oh, this,
Big sizzle.
I had no idea this was even a gate. I'll be. Huh. Well, it's not even locked. It's just... That's funny. Yeah. So all this will be coming out. A lot of these aren't even connected to the ground. They're just floating. Poor little H sitting out here. I can't remember which one I just pushed the other day. Oh yeah, see? They're not even connected. They're just kind of going along for the ride. Okay, so let's head back in. I need y'all's help. If you like spray painting, scoot close to the TV. I need your help. Been talking about what to do with the floors in here. I don't want to leave them like this. I have to grind them smooth, make sure there's no trip hazards, things like that, and walkers and wheelchairs can get through here. I don't want anybody falling or getting hurt or a kid tripping. It's the last thing we want. But then once we've got it ground, we got to do something. Yeah, we could paint it. That'd be cool. We could do the black and white checkered. We might do one room that way. But I got to thinking, one or two of you have reached out to me in the past and said that you do professional, maybe not professional, you're an avid graffiti artist. I don't know how to name it. You spray paint logos and designs with spray paint. Here's what I'm asking. If I were to say this whole room in here, if I were to divide this up, if 2, 3, 4, 5 of you want to come out and do a Tennessee logo and a Route 66 and a Sinclair and a Chevy and a Ford and a Hollywood and a Elvis dancing and Vice Grip Garage, do you want to come out, paint the floors, and then we'll just bury it in polyurethane? and it'll be part of the story and the fun here and experience, and maybe even a little road. The pathway is like a highway. It's got the stripes. I'm sure passing the whole time. We got to have passing zones and whatnot. Maybe some famous street signs. I don't know. That's where your creativity and skill would come into play. We're probably a long ways from that part yet, but I'd like to try to have things lined up to where we can get to them pretty quickly. So if that is you and you have the ability to do something like that, let me know. Shoot me an email, electronic mail, save the postage, vicescriptgarage@gmail.com or vicescriptlodge@gmail.com, and we'll see if we can figure something out. I am leaving town again bright and early tomorrow. I'll be gone for probably another week or so, and I don't think the guys are back for another 3 weeks. Is that right?
We'll be right over next.
Okay. But we'll give you another check in there. What's that?
We gotta get this thing open.
I know. I gotta get it
And
open.
even if you're not an email person, send one anyway. Look at me. I wasn't an email person. Look where I'm at. I'm working with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then we got some big projects coming up. We might be taking a wall down. We might be adding a wall. We might be doing some stuff. Kyle's got some really good ideas there. But I'm going to leave you here for now. Huge, massive progress. Water. We've got electricity. We've got commercial doors and windows. We've got paint. The ceiling's looking good. The outside is buttoned up. Overheads are going to be ready to go in pretty soon. It's actually happening. It's coming along awesome. And thank you guys for making this happen. I didn't do this. You did. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, everything like that. And I'm so excited to get this open and have a place for us to hang out and call ours and gather and get some kids involved in this and do everything like that. So thanks, and stay tuned. We'll have another update for you hopefully a couple weeks.